Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Against the Storm, the greatest roguelike city builder ever made. And arguably, my favorite city builder ever made. Now we're on our second last city of this run, and we have quite a few options that we can go for. But I thought it would be kind of interesting to go for the Forbidden Lands modifier over here. The real question is, do we want to settle in Royal Woodlands, or do we want to settle in the Marshlands? I think we'll go for a Marshlands game. It's been a while since I've done a lizard-heavy playthrough. And we actually have a caravan that has the option to bring some tools with them, and we can finally go down to Prestige 3, which will make our blueprint rerolls cost more on top of all the other prestige modifiers. So in terms of resources, we're going to be getting mushrooms, leather, and wood from our trees. I'm trying to see if maybe worth it to bring a herbalist camp or a small farm or something. Yeah, there's very little soil in the marshlands, so farming based builds don't really sit well with me, so I think we'll go for more of a hunting based build. Let's take some eggs and some meat. Lizards rely on bricks and cloth, and then I suppose a little bit of a supply of vegetables will do the trick and help us get through the early game. We're going to be starting off with 9 lizards, a whole bunch of resources, and a lot of hope in our pocket. Right, so if you're not familiar with Against the Storm, let me go ahead and just quickly explain the basics here. There are a variety of effects that will come into play during the game. For example, right now, at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of every rain cycle, we will have the Forest Offerings effect. During the drizzle, when we solve dangerous or forbidden glade events, we will get 30 random raw food. Very, very cool. Then for our negative modifiers, we can only find forbidden glades. We have the gathering knowledge, so gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to a gathering camp. We have giant organisms. Giant resource nodes can be found in forbidden glades, and each glade will have a different one. Very exciting. We also have prestigious expedition, so we'll need to earn an extra 4 prestige points or reputation points to win the game. Blight rot happens faster. Yes, Blight Rot is generated faster, and it is negative effects are generated faster, and blueprint rerolls just cost 10 more amber, which means, unfortunately, at the start of the game, we're not going to be able to do blueprint rerolls, which is honestly a really big downside. That free reroll now being taken away from us, and oh my goodness, just look at this map. It is filled with verboten glades, dangerous, difficult glades, and we will have to rely heavily on cutting trees and our starting resources to potentially make something happen here. I do like that our starting glade is relatively open, relatively well developed in terms of like how much space it has, and we've got some roots and some eggs here. Let's go ahead and get the basics going. We will get ourselves a pair of woodcutter camps. One little trick I like to do with the woodcutting camps is I like to make sure that they face towards the tree line, because that means workers will kind of spend less time walking, because the least important part of the walking is actually like the walking back to the storehouse, and I like to build a little ring of roads around here. Do I have any stone? I don't have any stone. And we've got a lizard in charge of the ancient hearth, giving us +1 to resolve globally and +5 to that worker himself. Let's go ahead and deactivate coal burning. I'm happy to burn everything else though for now. Well, let's just make sure we're burning wood. We'll get the wood cutting going, and we can go ahead and unpause. So I'm unlikely to open a glade in the very first year. What I'm going to do is maybe I'll open a glade in like late. That could be dangerous. It could be really, really dangerous. I'm going to open a glade early next year. I just tried not to deal with that extra food from the thing. Let's go ahead and get all our boys working in here. We'll get all the boys working in all of these woodcutting camps. And now, important things that I want to do is I want to make sure that these are cutting only marked trees, and they are avoiding the opening of glades. And then I hold down Alt to make sure that I don't mark any trees near glades. So I'm just going to kind of like cut generously in this area. I'm not really cutting in a direction right now. I'm just kind of generally cutting. And then I should really figure out where I want to put my sheltering area, and whether or not I would like to start by building regular lizard homes. I do have plenty of cloth and bricks, so I could make high tier lizard homes, which would get that out of the way, but maybe I'd be better off to keep those bricks around. In terms of reputation bonus, none of these really jump out to me. The simple tools recipes could be quite good. It depends on if we can get access to copper or potentially crystallized dew. So we'll kind of hold off on that until we get our first cornerstone and our first other stuff. So yeah, basically Against the Storm is a colony survival city builder management game about trying to survive in a very hostile and a very dangerous world. We have a variety of positive and negative modifiers affecting us. When the storm comes, which is the 3rd phase of each year, there is the drizzle, then there is the... oh god, I forget what the 3rd one was. The clearance? the drizzle, the clearance, and then the storm. Every full cycle is a year, and during the storm, we will get a variety of negative effects. For example, we've got looming darkness over here, which is just a minor, is a stacking modifier to resolve. If your resolve goes too low, people start leaving your settlement. People leaving your settlement means you have less workers. It also increases the queen's impatience. The queen's impatience, if it gets to maximum, you lose the game. The higher the queen's impatience, though, the lower the hostility of the forest, and the lower the hostility of the forest, the less of these negative modifiers you have to deal with during the winter. You can see here, at hostility level 3, we'll have to deal with vassal tax. At hostility level 4, we'll have to deal with vanishing goods. And at hostility level 4, we'll also have to deal with death and decay. Now, you know, looming darkness, that's the one you always get. We've got muddy ground, which is villagers off roads is decreased by 30%. That's okay. That's just like a slowdown. Vassal tax means we're going to have to pay quite a lot of money, quite a lot of amber every single storm. If we don't, impatience will grow 20% faster. Vanishing goods means there's a 10% chance of consuming double the amount of goods when using services. Ouch. This effect scales with hostility, so ooh, that's a 40% chance there. Death and decay will mean that if a villager dies during the storm, they will instantly turn into living matter. Living matter is a very bad, a very negative event, and now we get to pick a cornerstone. Let's see here. Generous gifts. Newcomers bring 40% more goods for every gained hub level. That doesn't seem very good. 5 pigment for every 10 insects produced. 10 amber for every 5 completed trade routes. That one kind of feels pretty good to me. That feels like the kind of a thing you could build a run around. And speaking of building a run around it, let's go ahead and make sure we build our trading post nice and early. I guess I usually like to build it away from here because this is like premium workhouse location. But I guess I will just pop it, move the woodcutting camp over here. And I suppose the very first thing we want are crude workstations. This will allow us to build tier 2 resources for construction, and the makeshift post, which will allow us to make trade goods. I find it's good to shuffle your lumber camps around as the trees get further and further from them. It's like a very, very slight optimization thing, but I think it does add up over the course of the game. Right, we have crude workstation, we have the makeshift post, we're working on the trading post. We also have new orders. I wonder if any of these are going to be relatively easy for us to do. Trading post is fairly easy. We're no way we're doing Impetuous Explorer, although getting a free weaver, 50% reinforced tools, 50% production in the stonecutters camp, and 3 parts. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's actually a really hard choice. All of these are super good. The easiest one is the trading post, because we just have to earn amber to do that, and this gets us it doesn't get us very much in the way of stuff. Although getting that box of simple tools could be real handy. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the trading post. It's the easiest one to do, and we can do it relatively quickly. I kind of don't remember if there's much metal on this map, but getting mold supply and reinforced needles for just doing 3 packs of trade goods. Fabric production, I don't know if we can really build an economy around that. Copper bar production, you can build an economy around, especially because we're in the mine update where things have changed slightly. I think I'm going to go for the more reliable and safer choice here, 3 packs. I can do that one relatively easily. And then we have booming economy. Sell goods worth at least 20 amber to a trader or using trade routes. Perfect. Does it get me 2 extra villagers, or do I want to go for pack of building materials? Reinforced saw blades. This isn't really a map for a kind of beaver build, so I'm going to go for more of a booming economy trade build. That kind of feels like the direction that my civilization excels right now, so that's how we're going to play it. I'm also going to go ahead and start building a few roads to keep my unemployed workers busy. I have 2 people unemployed. Keep them busy during the drizzle. They're working on the trading post right now, and I think it's safe to go up to a higher speed. So trading post completed. Now we need to go ahead and make sure we make a few packs of provisions. Let's say eggs and meat are allowed to be used, and I only ever want to have 5 packs of provisions at a time. I'll put 1 worker on that. They'll get to work on making those. Now, so workers will head out to your resource buildings. They'll grab their resources and they'll bring them back. I definitely don't want you to make packs of crops or packs of building materials right now, so let's go ahead and send those roots back. I just want them to bring meat and eggs and to make a little bit of stuff. Yeah, there we go. Packs of provisions are on the way. Perfect. It'll take them 34 seconds. I have a lot of productivity boosts that are making this go a little bit faster than it should. I think I feel safe now going up to speed 3 now that we've kind of laid out the basic early game objectives and what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go here. We're going to try and do a trade-based build. Or perhaps a based trade build. Right, we've made it to the clearance, and we do finally have a little bit of packs of provisions. Now our goal here is to just sell whatever we can relatively cheap. Damn, they want to buy my coal. How much coal do I have in the bank? I have 28 coal in the bank. That's really not enough to do anything with in terms of burning. If I were to sacrifice coal, it's 18 per minute, so I don't even have a minute's worth of a sacrifice, whereas I could sell 2 lots of coal, and these are not very good trade routes, I'll be real with you, but they would get me started on the amber, and getting started on the amber would mean I would get closer to getting deep pocket triggers. So I don't have much use for the coal, so I'm going to go ahead and get those triggers going. And is there anything I could maybe get my hands on early here? No. I could maybe get biscuits. No, there's no way I can get biscuits. I don't think I can trigger the order fast enough. So it's okay. We'll be able to do a little bit more trading later on. And now that we're in the clearance, it's time we start thinking about our housing. Do we want to go ahead? One thing I don't like is that I don't have a source for brick materials yet. We might just have to live with that bricks just aren't on the menu for us, and then start building some of these lizard houses. I'm trying to think. We're going to be dealing with -8 looming darkness. Each lizard gets 3 resolve for being sheltered, and then another 3 from being in specialized housing. So I think in order to actually survive this winter, we need specialized housing. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specialized houses, which uses 10 out of my 14, both cloth and brick. So let's get those on the way. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel your construction when you bring these back. There you go. I don't know why you're making more. That's fine. You can make more. How is our wood supply? Wood supply is looking real healthy. We've got plenty of wood. We start collecting our trade routes. I'm going to set those to auto collect. There's no reason not to do this. And the nice thing is getting these trade routes going early is getting us reputation with these cities, which we might be able to turn into even more victory condition things for us later on in the game. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and cancel your job. You don't need to work there anymore. Food's looking okay too. I'm going to activate consumption control. It would be good. Here's a question that I'm not super familiar with the field kitchen. I very rarely make use of it. Can it be moved at will? It's free to move. Okay. But I definitely want to get some planks to build this, but I'm going to go ahead and prioritize getting the lizard houses up first. But being able to even turn like meat, like if I turn 8 meat plus 5 wood into 10 food, plus this food gives resolve, this actually seems like it would be a pretty good use of my time, especially because I have so many lizards. So that seems pretty based. It's a crappy recipe and I would much prefer a better one. I wonder, is there a better jerky recipe? This feels like a map for jerky. Ooh, provisioner would be really, really good because I am going for a trade build. This would give me access to packs of provisions, flour and barrels, all at tier 2 recipes, which opens up some long-term potential for things. The flour is less useful, but it is good to have a flour recipe. The most useful thing is the packs of provisions, which will allow me to trade a lot and then potentially trigger the deep pockets often. So when is my first trader coming? They are coming in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. They're going to be coming right after the storm is done. That is good. Lizard resolve is increasing because of the houses we are building. We have got 2 of those houses up. There's more coming. Right, here comes the storm. We've got 2 more houses to go, but they have 8 resolve, which should be enough to weather the winter. Should be more than enough to get us through. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this kitchen because I don't want to do it just yet. It will be something I do later. Here comes the storm. The storm has happened. We're only at 2 resolve, so we happily and healthily made it through the winter. We need to think about which of these glades are we going to open. We got to roll the dice, and unfortunately this is a very scary dice to roll because we could very easily open one of these glades and tank our run. However, we have on our side the beautiful assistance of a potential trader. Let's have a look. Right, what do we got in here? We have ourselves a worm tongue nest, a grass cap mushroom, we have root deposits, coal, copper veins. Now I kind of wish we had copper and coal, a large abandoned cache, and a wildfire. Honestly, this is not too bad of a forbidden glade. What do you require? Okay, we have the tools required to do this. Fuel in the settlement storage is dissipating at a rate of 5 items every 15 seconds. This is going to cost us a lot of wood. Now we could either get amber and a reputation, or we could get a bunch of fuel, like crate of sea marrow. These could be all really, really useful. These are all trade goods that we can trade to potentially trigger more effect, or we could just get a lot of money really early for that first trade route. I think having oil, incense, and crates of sea marrow will open up a lot of trading potential for us, which will allow us to trigger deep pockets really often, which will allow us to do a lot of really potentially cool things. So how fast can I solve this? 4 minutes. Yeah, it's not going to be enough time, sadly. Hold on, we'll just put one guy on this. No, I want to do full send when the time comes. But pretty good resource find in here actually. So let's start clearing out a bit of room. Could be another hearth going up over here, and I think building lots of hearths feels right to me. Oh right, I should build 4 decorations, because if I build 4 decorations I will level up my hub, and leveling up the hub will give me an extra effect. Let's go over here to the decoration screen. I guess I'll build like a little garden area here. It's fine. There we go, the fence is on the way. Now here's the thing, if we do not deal with this dangerous event, we will destroy all stored fuel it will just destroy all the fuel in my settlement. So I have 9 minutes to deal with this. Thankfully, we did start with tools, and we're going to have to try to live off of this glade. And we do have a lot of roots, a lot of mushrooms. This is going to potentially color what we decide to get. We could go for a mine, and this is the mining update. So I think we are going to head in a mining kind of a direction, but I want my first wave of immigrants. Let's have a look. Any winter trade routes that we could maybe abuse? Oh, we could sell some parts. How many parts could I sell? Ooh. I could sell 4 parts for 28 amber. That seems like a really good trade route. I'm going to take that. 100%. That's so much amber this early into the game. It'll take a while for it to complete, but super brilliant. Right, we made it through our first year, and we have ourselves a couple of options here. We could take some... Ooh, getting the fabric could be really handy. Getting the planks is less handy, but getting this fabric, real handy to get nice fabric that I don't have to try to make myself. So we have protected trade, which is hostility is reduced by 15 points every time you sell goods worth 25 amber, or newly discovered resource nodes have 20 more charge, but 45 hostility upon picking this cornerstone. We have blight extractors, which gives us 3 amber. Every completely infected building generates 3 amber per minute, but also adds 15 hostility. Ooh, that one seems really, really good. Every 5 villagers with the need for religion fulfilled decreases hostility by 25%. Honestly, I feel like protected trade, this kind of fits in our build. Hostility is reduced by 15%, 15 points every time you sell goods worth 25 amber. That could be real handy for us. It looks like here's Zorg. I don't need pottery production. I don't need plantation. Generous donation is quite handy. I don't need the clay pit, although clay pit could be handy. Clay pit could be really, really handy. It would be a renewable source of clay, and I don't really have a clay source right now. I have a little bit of a clay source from my copper and my coal deposits, which is going to be how I get my bricks. So unfortunately, I am actually going to have to go in that direction here. Increase storage capacity for buildings. I don't think there's anything here that I really need to buy, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 workers on this. I'll put the 2 dryads on this and tell them to sort this out and get these resources. This is going to mean that fuel is getting destroyed. I'm going to just live with that. Let's also think about what we would like to buy. We have a ton of clothing, and we don't have a use for them really. We could just sell these off, because the only people in my settlement who can wear clothes are humans, and if I prevent them from doing that, that'll just make them upset. So I could just deactivate humans from wearing clothes, or I could sell the clothes, or I could keep them. I'm going to stop humans from wearing clothes. They'll take a hit to the resolve, but then that's a resource that I can also sell when the time comes. Speaking of selling resources, we have a vegetable trade route. Let's go ahead and make sure we have another worker working in the makeshift post to make sure this gets what it needs in order to create just enough packs of provisions so that we can do just a little trickle of trade. And I think I'm going to put this limit up to 9 packs of provisions now. That seems like a little bit more reasonable now that we're getting into the mid-year. Okay, goods sold. This is going to be something I need to work on, the 3 packs. I guess I could technically get it done soon. I need someone to be working in here to make me a little bit of these extended resources. I'm going to put a worker in here, and then I got 1 worker running around free for most of the year. These guys will get free pretty soon once they start clearing this out. They're bringing over the tools right now. We also have a large abandoned cache with a ton of potential resources. Again, 30 amber, but I think I like the variety of resources because I'm going for a trade build. Now, selling resources is a really good idea here, I think, because I have a lot of stuff that scales off trading. And getting a diversity of resources here could be real handy. Also, just even getting a little bit of amber so I could trigger this mission here. If I triggered this mission early, what you reckon? Do you reckon I trigger trading post now? Yes, so I just need to get 2 amber off this guy. We sell 2 of this. 2.5 amber, you little minx. Well, I don't want to sell all my coats, even though I don't have a huge amount of use for them. How much for a pack of provision? Okay, that much. A little bit of you. How about one of these? Oh, actually the parts are worth a lot. Never mind. We can just make a slight adjustment here. There we go. Easy. Get that 2. Boom. This will allow me to complete the order. Boom. And the reason we wanted to sync up opening this glade with the trader coming is so that we had the ability to trade for a potential resource that could solve the issue that was at hand. But luckily we had simple tools on hand, so that worked out. Speaking of simple tools, you got any? No, he has no simple tools. That's unlucky. But we will be able to potentially trade with the next trader to get even more stuff. Do I want any raw resources? I wish I could afford to buy all these things. My town hasn't been productive enough to really make a difference there. Now, who is going to get those biscuits? The humans and the dryads. I gotta cancel biscuit consumption until we need it for the winter. Also, don't eat meat and eggs right now because they're kind of important. Eat everything else. Nah, you know what? Evenly eat the food. That's fine. Let's make sure... I need 3 packs of crops and 4 packs of these. That's a lot of planks. It'll be a while before we can do that. So we'll just say packs of crops are on the table, but we only ever want to have 3 of them as a small diversity. We want to have a diverse set of resources because the more diverse our set of resources, the more stuff we can sell. Speaking of selling stuff, 20 broccoli for 10 amber. You consider the value of vegetables is 4 and the value of packs of provisions is 2. This is a very profitable trade route, and it also gets us closer to a deep pocket trigger. Huge. I'm going to build just a basic shelter for my other species right now. You could maybe justify a harpy house, but just a basic shelter. These guys have a little bit better resolve. Actually, now that I've said that out loud, harpies have some of the worst resolve in the game, so I'm going to need a specialized harpy house in order to keep them happy and potentially survive the next winter, especially because now we're up to hostility 2 with the year ticking over and the dangerous glade going through. Right, new orders. Ancient tablets are totally possible. Have 8 harpies and have their resolve high. I definitely feel like ancient tablets kind of fits in my trading direction, especially because if I can get my hands on just a few more tools, I'll be able to open up a large abandoned cache, giving me a ton of ancient tablets. So that feels like it's possible for me, so that's what I'm going to take. Okay, have at least one hub upgraded to the level of neighborhood. Oh, I'm trying to remember what level neighborhood is. Let me see if I can find it in the help menu. Damn it, why can't I remember? Oh, that's really, really frustrating. It's like, I will remember it when I can think of it. I can't think of it right now. I'm pretty sure neighborhood is tier 2. So I think that would be very, very achievable for me, because in order to get to tier 2, I will need, let's see, a couple more villagers. Let me think. There's not enough time. I would need another pack of immigrants. I don't have enough people to get to the next level. I could very easily do the decorations part of this, but getting the other requirements would be very, very difficult. It would be great, but I'm not going to do it. Let's have a look. Do we want to do, let's see, complete 6 trade routes, sell 20 goods, easy. This feels like an easy choice to me. Or keep harpies resolve above 18. This is quite good too, but I think the seller is an easier one. It just kind of fits in my trading build. I don't remember if I did a trading build last time too, but I am a big fan of trading builds. They feel correct to me. It just, you know, I go through phases, like sometimes I do farming, sometimes I do trading. So I would like to get another hearth over here if I could. Which means I'd like to find a centralized place, and this looks good enough right there. We don't have to make it immediately. I'm just going to put that to extremely low priority, and then I'm going to get to work on a storage place. It's good to build more than one hearth for a number of reasons. Basically, every single hearth that you have that has an employee working on it will lower the hostility of the forest, which kind of adds up over the course of the game. Very good to have. But having a storage over here means that any production resources, anything I do over here, they don't have to walk quite as far to get over to my storehouse building. And villager walk time is honestly one of the biggest things you're going to want to make sure you work on. Also, let's make sure these guys are back to avoiding of the opening of glades and cutting only of the trees I care about. And let's keep expanding over here to our east. I think we have a lot of potential here. A lot of our resources were destroyed by the wildfire. We're also now into the clearance. And how long until our next trader? It looks like 6 minutes, so we'll get that next year. What do we have in terms of new trade routes available? We could sell cloth. How much cloth do we have at the back? We have 7 cloth. That doesn't seem like a very good one. How much leather do we have? That's the real question. We only have 5 leather. We really haven't hit much. That's a little disappointing. So let's have a look at our first recipe. We might want to start thinking about making food. Simple tools, coats, packs of trade goods. I like the idea of simple tools. What kind of trade goods can you turn into? Coats are okay. Coats just seem like low value for me in this particular build. So rather than this, I would maybe rather go for tool shop. Although these two both fulfill the same task. So maybe the smithy would be better. So this is 2 planks, 3 copper bars for 2 tools versus 1 plank and 2 copper bars for 2 tools. So this is a much better tool recipe, but there's no guarantee that I find copper smelting. I'm gonna take the tool shop in the hope, because simple tools can be used to solve nearly any event, and that might be my way out of this game. Oh, being able to produce coal would be real handy, and it would also mean that I could actually make jerky reliably. A brick recipe upgrade isn't bad either. I would love the Explorer's Lodge, dude. Oh wait, no, sorry. This is the salvaged ruin one. No, there's another one that I think I would like. I might be thinking of like the tavern. It gives you like 3 resolve globally. Really, really helpful. It's like having another tier of house for your people. Being able to grow resin and crystallized dew seems really good. But I already picked a thing that makes me do copper. A forager's camp could be handy. What's that? Vegetables, grain, and insect. I would love if there was a button somewhere that I could click that just like showed how many resources are on the map. Like tab, control, alt, shift, enter. You know, just something that gave me an idea. So we've got a ton of roots. That has herbs in it. Mushrooms with a little bit of insects. We've got bugs, of course. Is a forager's cap worth it here? Vegetables and grain and insects. Oh, that just doesn't seem very good. I'm going to go for the kiln. Being able to produce coal is actually super helpful. This is a net positive in fuel economy. So it takes 10 wood, turns it into 5 coal. 10 wood is worth 0.6 amber. 5 coal is worth 1.55 amber. And also, if we take a look at the burning time in the thingy here, wood burns for 17 seconds, and coal burns for 1 minute and 11 seconds. So this is like be a really, really good fuel net positive move. Plus it means I have access to another resource. So I think I'm going to go for the kiln here. That feels correct to me. I really want something else. Ooh, lumber mill could be handy to get our plank production up. This would help fulfill some of our goals. Also scrolls and that are good. Don't need a leatherworker. Actually, having a leatherworker could be handy. Being able to make packs of luxury goods could be useful. The compromise option would be to go for the carpenter, but the problem is the carpenter has the simple tool recipe, which I don't need. Whereas the lumber mill is just straight up a diversity upgrade in my recipes, which makes me want to go for it. Yeah, let's take the lumber mill. Oh, what about the clan hall? Let me think about this. Camp production is increased by 50%. Does not affect the woodcutter's camp. This doesn't seem particularly good for me. Yeah, I'm going to go lumber mill. I really need something that can smelt iron bars. Can I complete another order soon? That would give me another potential reroll. I can. So let's go ahead and deliver that. This gives me another pick without having to reroll because it's expensive to reroll. A jerky recipe up would be nice. Plus another 2 recipes that I can't quite make. It would take only clay and wood and fuel with some kind of resource plus fuel to make incense. This would open up potential. I don't need the brickyard. Crystallized dew. I plan on going for copper mines this game, so maybe not the way to go. I feel like the press, not a whole lot of stuff here that I'm going to be able to get access to in this run. Yeah, I think the press is not the way to go. The leatherworker feels to me okay, but I think I'm going to go for the smokehouse. Yes, I already have a jerky recipe, but this is like a super net positive jerky recipe. And it gives me access to pottery and incense, which are 2 pretty good trade. Okay, I really need copper bars. Okay, smelter, huge. I'm taking the smelter immediately. This gives me access to biscuits. It gives me access to crystallized dew. It gives me access to copper bars. It's one of the best copper bar recipes in the game. We're immediately taking it. Okay. So we've definitely just kind of committed very heavily to tool production as a direction. I think the very first thing we're going to do is get ourselves a lumber mill going. I'm going to get my woodcutter over here behind this. This is like a pretty good area for industry, so I'm going to go ahead and try to start clearing that out for industry. And I'll have my other woodcutter just kind of making space for like housing and just production over here. So I think housing is completely sorted. I have 4 unemployed people. That's not ideal, actually. And I think we had made the decision to sell cloth. Even just 1 click of this, like you could maybe say do 2, but I think 1 click here just gets us closer to triggering deep pockets. And it looks like we've already managed to get a little bit of a hostility reduction from protected trade, which I'm very, very happy about. We could sell some oil. How much oil could I realistically sell? I have 15 oil, and how much was in this thing? 40. So I could sell 36 oil, which is about 5.7 plus 3, and this would get me 16 amber. This would be a net positive trade route. I could also sell a machinery here. How many parts do I have? Parts are hard to get, but it is worth it in my opinion to just sell one. Just sell 1 part, because that's technically 2 extra amber, right? Because every trade route trigger is a +1 deep pocket, which is 2 amber essentially in terms of expected value. So that actually just means that every single one of these trade routes is just +2 amber flat, regardless of like how much we send. Let's put these guys to work. We've got a lot to do. Nice, we've got our storehouse up over here, which means I feel like I can bring my woodcutter's camp over. One big problem we have is not enough brick. So where am I going to get brick in the meantime? That is something I did not think enough about before I spent all my brick, isn't it? It was. How much brick do we need for a mine? We need 4 brick for a mine. Oof. And I spent all my bricks. Right. We're gonna have to just trade for bricks next year. We can always get working on 3 packs, however, which we'll get done the second that we have this lumber mill completed. You are waiting for another one of these. Yeah, we're waiting for a bit of cloth, so not a whole lot getting done right now. Let's extend our decorations. Boom, boom, and boom, boom. And then we would like to... We'll work on the next tier of decorations soon. But getting this up to hub level 2 will be a 10%... I think it's a 10% production boost, which is quite handy. It means every recipe that we do is 10% faster. I guess you don't need to work there. Yeah, we just don't have enough jobs for people right now because we can't create extended quality buildings. We never found enough stuff. So I guess we could just start doing some harvesting. So I guess let's grab ourselves a scavenging camp. Pop her right there, and then I guess we'll go double scavenging camp. Is that crazy? Got a little crazy, but I guess it's fine. I mean, we have a ton of unemployed people that we just need to get to work. Just sitting there not producing value for our society. Yeah, the brick limit here is hurting us. I think it was the building of the storage that kind of screwed us. Right, so we've got low resolve. That's because we've got 3 stacks of the looming darkness modifier, which means I need to get my hostility down to level 1. Let's go ahead and cut woodcutters. I'll cut 2 woodcutters away from the build. We also have a little bit of blight. How much to make a blight post? Okay, more bricks. So we're going to have to rely on trading. We're going to have to hope we get trade. Yeah, this guy usually has bricks, so that's fine. We have a ton of surplus value. We have a ton of amber in the bank. Let's sell some oil. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I think that's worth it. No, for 10 amber? Wait a minute. No way this is worth it. It's worth it to send 1, because it's always a +2 amber trade route. And similarly for my vegetables, it's worth it to send 1. Actually, these veg are worth it a lot. Jesus Christ. 7.2 value. This is a massive, this is like a 50, this is like a nearly 100% profit trade route. The problem is I'm sending off a lot of food, but I'll do it. Well, let me check first. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll have to find more food. Although I did just get 2 new buildings actually gathering food, so I should be fine. Gain 1 harpy for every 25 eggs produced, or gain 1 lizard for every 25 eggs produced. This doesn't feel very good to me. I might re-roll these. I mean, lots of population can work, but I think I would much rather stay with a relatively small amount of population, try to play efficiently. Here we go. Now this fits really well into my build. Gain 1 global resolve for every 3 levels of standing with other settlements in trade routes. This bonus is added retroactively, and I've already started to lay the groundwork. I would get +1 global resolve, and +1 global resolve does not seem like much, but it actually adds up over the course of the game, right? If you imagine, every level of hostility is -4 during the storm, so +1. You know, it adds up. Gain amber every time a villager dies, or 3 roots per minute. Yeah, it's got to be friendly relations. We're definitely in a trade build. We're like 100%. We're like fully committed to the trade build. A mixture of humans. Ooh, getting the planks would be good. Ooh, getting the leather would be really good. I can get planks pretty easily, so I'd much rather get the leather and the vegetables. Plus, it's an extra tiny little bit of food, and the leather will be really, really useful to making a little bit more fabric. So this pushes me in the direction I want to go. I have 5 harpies. We could justify another harpy house, but we would need a lot more fabric. We'll have to wait on that front. I can go ahead and re-employ 2 more woodcutters. I've got a lot of unemployed harpies right now. Nothing that I can use my harvester's camp for. Can I do a stonecutter's camp? No. Scavenger's camp. We already have 2 scavenger's camps rocking away. Let's go ahead and wait until the trade route comes up, and we'll see how she goes. I'll just try to keep my villagers busy until this trade route gets here, which is in about 30 seconds. We could go to a 3rd woodcutter. It's kinda not too great, but it would get me more leather. Let's make sure there's someone working in here, and there's someone working in here. Right, all far off. We definitely need to get bricks. Now, how many bricks do we need to get? That's the real question. Oh, damn, these are actually so good. There's so many good things here. I definitely want advanced smelting. I don't necessarily care about steel pickaxes, but advanced smelting would allow me to convert a small amount of copper into a relatively large amount of copper. A small amount of copper ore into a relatively large amount of copper bars. If we take a moment here, we get ourselves the smelter. The ratio, which is a thing that happens on Twitter. No, the ratio of copper bars to thingy is 4:2, but it would become 4:3. So that's actually a 50% increase. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take the copper bar increase. Reputation would be amazing. I don't think I can afford to take this early, and I don't think it helps me enough. Barrel production, I think, doesn't help me enough. I would really like to open this large abandoned cache, so I would need another 11 tools. But I also need I need 11 tools, I need a ton of bricks, and I don't have a lot of stuff I can do. How much would it cost me to get 11 tools? It would cost me 25 amber. Okay, how many bricks do I need? Honestly, if I just buy a ton, I should be fine. This is really, really, really difficult. Let me have a little bit of think. Let me do a little bit of napkin math, and I'll be right back. I've just made the decision because bricks are the hardest thing for me to get my hands on, and I need 11 tools. I'm just going to buy as many. I'm just going to buy the whole supply, and this works out just fine for me. I wish I was able to buy a couple more things, maybe another perk or two, but this has just worked out really well, right? We have the amber, we have the stuff we need, and nicely enough, this will trigger another couple of those instances of protected trade. We're constantly pushing down the hostility level of the forest, and having those bricks on hand means another small herd that's even more hostility reduced. We're also now able to actually get the smelter and all these workshops and all these buildings. We've got a lumber mill coming, we've got a tool shop coming, we've got the smelter built. We're finally getting the hearth up. It's all coming together. But the most important thing to get right now is the mine, and I want to go ahead and try to build a mine that has no overlap right there. That's fine. Get you there. I'm going to start getting that copper ore production going. There's our second hearth. I'm going to go ahead and put a lizard in charge of that. So I'm going to take a lizard out of here, put him in there, and then we will put a harpy, I guess, in this lumber camp. So we have a little bit of unhousedness, homelessness. That is the word I was looking for, the word homelessness. And it's really important that I house harpies and lizards in real houses. So I'm going to get myself a second harpy house, and I also need to start thinking about level 2 hub here. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves. I don't really particularly care to make like a particularly interesting base. I just kind of do this kind of a decoration. Like I have a template I follow. It makes it kind of towns that I really enjoy, like aesthetically. You may not like it, and you may not think it's peak performance, but it's the way I like to do things. So I would call that a pretty successful second trade. I would say so far this is actually a pretty successful run. We've managed to keep hostility really, really low. If we can keep it below vassal attack, that actually would be super, super helpful. Nothing available for trade. I think it's time that we bought ourselves at least a couple of trade route openings to have more opportunities for trade. It's only drizzle, so I think we can buy pretty aggressively here. The one thing we're missing though is the packs of provisions. We need to get those delivered. It's been slow about delivering them. Okay, they just got delivered, so we should be able to start selling. Let's look through the list. I don't like selling food, but it's a pretty good ratio. Sell this marrow. Marrow is actually a really good sell, I think. Can we sell 2? Can we sell 3? Ooh, we could sell 4. 20 marrow, 4 packs of provisions for 12 amber. That's a really damn good trade. We are having a little bit of a food issue, but I think we can make it through another whole year without really adding to our food supply. We should be fine. Who's our next trader? It looks like it's Sother. So it would be good to have a lot of amber on hand because he can have some really interesting perks, like increasing the length of the year, which allows you to get more production cycles into a year. In terms of orders, let's see here, goods sold, 45 amber with traders or trade routes. This kind of fits really well into our build. We also have ruins. Rebuild or salvage destroyed buildings in the forest. This could have been a direction that we decided to go. We also have Thirsty Trader. Sell goods worth of 35 amber to trader using trade routes. This would get me infinite copper bars. This would be amazing and protected trade, but there's no way. I would have to get 30 water skins. How the hell would I get 30 water skins? Tool shop can produce water skins. I have how much leather? I have 32 leather, which would be enough. This would be enough. I could do it. God, that is actually such a tempting thing. Damn. A second level of protected trade would be ridiculous. I have to go for this. So let's say it takes a minute to build the tool shop. Okay, that's a reasonable projection. If we had all of the resources right now, but we don't even have our lumber mill up, we would have to wait for production cycles of planks. Okay, let me, I'm mapping this out of my head. We would have to wait for, I put this to maximum priority, we'd have to wait for at least 2 production cycles on planks, which we can make happen. If I cancel this lumber mill, we won't need to wait for a production cycle on fabric. We can just get that fabric in there. How many unemployed people do I have? I have 3. Okay, so what the hell am I going to sell to Sother for 30? I think we just go for it now, and we immediately try to do this. So plank production cycles are going, and I only need 4. So just make 4 and then transport them. Then water skins, make sure we cancel that. We need 30 of them, right? That's how much we needed. We need 30 water skins, and then we need to call Sother pretty quick smart. So let's play this on a relatively lower speed so we can kind of monitor things a little bit more. So this is at maximum priority. I'm going to take off a worker off here so that we have an extra worker available just to get all the construction done, because I'm slightly worried about it. Okay, planks are on the way. 30 seconds of our first minute already gone. We only get 5.5 minutes to complete this, right? Tool shop's going up. Huge. Immediately employed. This is a engineering, so it's beaver. Let's get our 2 humans in here. So 30 water skins are on the way. In comes the leather. In comes the oil. Anything I can sell here? I could sell a little bit of oil. I wonder, does that trigger? Probably not until the minute thing is over. I don't want to sell bricks. They were way too important for me to acquire those bricks. Let's see. What do we got coming in? We got about 16 amber coming in. I wonder if that triggers. That's going to be an important question to answer. Okay, first batch of water skins are coming in. Huge. Okay, we got a production bonus actually. Looks like we got a double production, so we actually don't need any more water skins. We're done. We're already done on the water skins front. I'm wondering, does this good sold count? Water skins are done. We can cancel both of these. So will this 12 actually count? It did count. So 4 more is coming, which will bring us up to 21, which means we need to sell 14 more. I'll sell slightly more than that. Let's call Sother immediately to get this triggered. We can finally go ahead and complete Cellar as well. That's 15 amber and 10 bricks and reinforced needles in our bag. I think the big thing would be if I could get my hands on stuff from Sother, like tools. That would be really, really helpful. Would like blow this game wide open for me. Okay, Sother, what have you got? I need to sell, I'm going to play it safe and sell like 20 in value to him. I think one of these wildfire essences is like an okay choice. We don't need that many of them. I could sell the biscuits. The parts are good to sell, but it's dangerous to sell a lot of your parts. I think selling 2 parts is fine. What are we buying? God, there's so many good things to buy here too. Let's sell the biscuits. Oh, biscuits are really good for resolve. So there's 15. I don't want to sell any tools, and I'll sell a pack of crops. Okay, so that's 20. This should cover me. What am I going to buy 20 worth of? I mean, guess getting a ton of leather would be really handy actually. Just because I don't have enough of it. I don't have enough leather, like just knocking around in general. One thing I wish, there is actually, you can see how much you have of a thing. Well, I don't need clay. It could be handy to have some wine on hand. So I'll just grab 10 of that. It could be handy to have some pottery on hand. I can make water skins. It could be handy to have some training gear and some pigments on hand, because these are all things that we can sell and do things with. So having a diversity of goods is handy here. Let's just sell another machine part, and we're short a little. What else can we sell? Here we go, balanced. Boom. So that's the goods sold. We cleared the goods sold requirement. It's kind of in there. It's kind of hard to see. But now we have 40 amber to play around with here. 25% more clearance. This is just makes my year longer. Faster drizzle. Choose one blueprint from all unlocked blueprints. That's insane. Contraband is amazing. Lowers hostility by 50 points. We could almost go to 0 hostility this run and have a really long year. I feel like long year is super powerful. And plus, if we could get one more amber and lower hostility by 1 point, I think I actually have just like got one of the best slow roll runs in human history. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We'll trade. Boom. We take Ways of the Forest. So now we have a super long year, okay? A year that lasts a really, really long time, that we get a ton, and I mean a ton, of hostility reduction effects, because I'm pretty sure we get protected trade twice now. If I complete this order, Thirsty Trader, now we have 2 sets of protected trade, which means the more we sell, this is just like an absurd run. We're also passively getting copper, we're getting box of crystallized dew. So now we can pretty much start mass producing tools, which is exactly what I'm going to start doing. Yeah, we're just going to mass produce tools. Ooh, Blight Post, Blight Post, Blight Post. So pretty important for me to get my Blight Post before that actually becomes a big issue. So let's make sure that Blight Post is pretty high on priority, because this Blight Storm could be bad. Yeah, it's not this one, it's the next one that could be really bad. So getting the Blight Post up now and early is pretty handy. But this has just been an excellent run for me. So we need to start producing Purging Fire using fuel, ideally wood. So I'm going to make sure that wood is what's used for it. And I need at least 1 worker. And it's good to put lizards in here because it keeps the resolve nice and high. But we're about to head into the next storm. And it's probably about time. We probably don't even need to really think about mining. There's actually a whole new like mining system they implemented where you can like upgrade your mine. And depending on what you choose to upgrade, it's going to cost like goods to do. Like if I choose this, it would take 20 planks and 6 tools. And you can also replace it with bricks. And there's all that kind of stuff. And each one of these upgrades changes things. Like for example, the Pit Pony gives you a 50% extraction speed increase. So normally it will take 39 seconds to extract 1 copper ore, but if you go for the Pit Pony, it'll take that 50% faster than that, which doesn't mean 50% less time. I'm pretty sure it works additively, not reductively. And then you have minecarts, which gives you an automated minecart, which just takes the resources out of here so workers don't have to transport it. Or you can go for the box crib, which allows you to dig deeper and more greedily, which is honestly really, really cool. I like it. I like the system. I like the new mining system, and we'll set up a coal mine later on too. But for now, I need you nerds to produce this. What is your issue? You're idling. Oh, I forgot to activate simple tools. Yeah, so make simple tools, please. And ideally make them from planks, because we're about to get our hands on the lumber mill. And now I think we have the game-winning setup, because now we could just start opening glades, trading, like aggressively trading, like super aggressively trading for resources. And once we have tool production, we could just start opening glades like really super aggressively, which will lead to us snowballing out of control very, very quickly. No one's homeless, are they? Oh, I've got a couple of homeless harpies because I haven't been able to build this harpy house. Let's go ahead and turn back on fabric production. I don't know if I have a better fabric thingy. So we have a new band of newcomers. I'm going to delay accepting those until we're through the storm so I don't get a hostility increase during the storm. But yeah, we're in like really, really good shape. Are we ready to open another glade? I would say no. What we are ready to open is this large cache of abandoned tools. So let's get that open. Right, this is amazing. We can now pick a new cornerstone. It's a new year. Buildings cost 50% less, but every resource node has less. Gain meat and grain for each dangerous and forbidden glade event solved, or all houses have 1 more place. +1 in housing isn't bad. It's not a terrible move. Every completely infected also adds 15 hostility. Honestly, we could just choose a building to allow get fully infected, and I think we might do that. I could also re-roll here, but if I were to allow my tool workshop to go to full infection, this would give me a 20% production speed boost, or a 20% movement speed boost, but more importantly, a 25% chance for double production of tools. Double production of tools means I have just more tools, right? Less resources are being turned into more output. That kind of has interesting synergy with my ability to lower hostility from trade. So I'm kind of curious about that as a cornerstone. Let's take the lizards, because I feel like this is very much so a lizard settlement. I would love lost supplies. I'm going to go for Blight Extractor. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate Blight Burning on my tool shed, because this should very, very quickly get to its required level. And I think it's time I started mining. I'll put a harpy in there. So when am I going to open my next thing? I think once I have like a small supply of tools, I'll open my next forbidden glade, and I'll open this one right here because it's kind of like the next logical move. When am I going to do that though? Yeah, when I have a few more tools in the bank. Let's put one guy. I'm going to go ahead and cancel plank production over here. Make sure we have a little bit of bricks. Let me see. Honestly, our brick and fabric situation is fine, so I don't need anyone working here. I do need to think about packs of building materials. Do I have a better building for that? Let me go ahead and check. So if I open this up and I look at this product, how do I go back? The only thing I think can make it... Yeah, the only thing that can make packs of building materials is the makeshift post. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We need 4 packs of building materials to complete our mission. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. And I guess planks is a totally reasonable one. I guess I could do it with this really quickly. I just want 4. Let's make sure they get built. And you in here can get started on this. I should really make a field kitchen. One thing I'm massively missing out on is food multiplication. So we'll get a field kitchen so we can start doing food multiplication. We don't really have an efficient food multiplication recipe just yet, but we can at the very least turn a little bit of meat. Oh no, we don't have much meat left. Oof. Oof. So what can we do? We could do a little bit of pickled goods. I'll put a lizard in here. He'll turn 7 food and 3 pottery into 10 food, which will also increase resolve slightly. So that's a pretty good deal, I feel. Now, pickled goods only applies to lizards, so the lizards will be slightly happier. Oh, nice. We got 30 berries. Why? Did we solve? Oh, solving the large abandoned cache got us 30 berries. Based. That's actually pretty big. I'd love a scavenger camp. We could make use of the temple. We do have the ability to produce incense, and we have the ability to produce scrolls, which would fulfill both religion and education. The Sacrament of the Flame would allow goods burnt to the Ancient Heart to burn 25% longer, and we do need one of these buildings to get to a level 3 hub. What about the Forum? Bonus production yield is increased by 15%. I think I would rather reroll here. The Tavern is a little bit more doable. +3 to global resolve is super handy. That basically cancels an entire hostility level. Training gear and ale are a little bit, less useful and hard to get by, but it only uses planks to be produced. The Tavern kind of feels nice to me. It's one of my favorite ones. None of these buildings inspire confidence. Let's go ahead and pick the Tavern so we kind of know which direction we're going to go. We will be building a tavern, although not yet. It's in the plans. I think about 30 planks should be just like a decent amount. Beyond that, I don't want to like use up my entire wood supply, because I think I am putting a lot of demand on my wood supply right now. You should be using planks and not raw wood, because this is more efficient, right? This is 6 versus 1. And I can convert 3 of these into 2. Yeah, so it's just way more efficient for you to use planks. Any last minute trading we can do? We could sell those packs of goods. We could do our order here. Let's come up here. We'll complete this order. Boom. Another +1 to our fabric production and a couple of extra resources. Let's go ahead and deactivate packs of building materials. We don't want those. Let's make sure we send these home as well. We have to click things out of the resource building. Ooh, Explorer launch. Could be good. I like the idea of the market. No. Not the market. There's another building I'm looking for. The hell is this? Oh, cosmetics, I see. Cosmetics and wine. Clothier. Herbalist camp is herbs, berries, and mushrooms. It would allow me to gather these mushrooms here, and that would be a byproduct of producing insects. I don't think I need them. I don't think I need to make this pick right now. I can kind of sit on my hands here and just kind of wait. I'm not under pressure. Dun 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 dun. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, look at those tools we have in stock. Okay, so we're good now, I think, to just straight up open another glade. We can turn off avoid opening glades and just say go ahead. Now the timing on this isn't perfect because we are going to go up to hostility 2 when we open it. It's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and deliver ancient artifacts. This is going to get us 2 more population, 20 amber, and +1 production to all our packs of goods. Really, really helpful. And also pick an order. Open 3 caches. That's a lot of tools. That's a lot of tools. If I got this a little bit later, maybe I could pull this off. Specializes in cosmetic production. I don't really have a way to make cosmetics, but if we go for lizard resolve, 20 lizard resolve and 5 packs of provisions will get me 5 lizards. I think I can do 20 lizard resolve actually in the long run. I'll take that. And then what else can we do? Harpy resolve. I don't think I can do that. I can definitely get a kiln and make a bunch of coal. That's very easy for me to do. That's 2 more reputation. 1, 2. I've got to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more reputation. I can get a lot of it from my exploration and trading. Okay, so what have we found here? Grasscap mushrooms, snake nests, stone deposits, leech brood mothers, coal deposits, copper veins, large abandoned caches, and a drainage mole. Drainage mole, look at this big bad boy. If I do not deal with him in 10 minutes, he will destroy all resource nodes, buildings, and kills villagers within 20 field radius. So if I zoom out, just to give you an idea of what he's going to destroy, that whole green circle will just get yoked. which I don't think would be a good thing for me. So let's go ahead and use some of these tools that I built up ahead of time. Now, the unfortunate thing is, while we are dealing with him, we're going to have a pretty bad hostility and resolve situation, but we have 4 minutes, so if we assign 2 people to this, it should be fine. Now, we could get 20 amber and a reputation, or we could get 40 coal. 40 coal would actually be really helpful because that will help us fulfill the mission here, and 5 ale per minute. 5 ale per minute would be pretty good because that would help us. I think humans use ale. I think if I go to my tavern, which I intend on building here, who the hell uses... yeah, humans use ale. So this would give me basically free resolve for humans through this if I were to take this. As well as just fuel burning longer, getting a bunch of coal. The coal will help me with my dirty work mission, which means I have to make less coal for my kiln. That seems handy. Versus 1 reputation. I think this is worth more than 1 reputation. So resolve is pretty bad. I'm going to have to pull some lizards off the line, the woodcutting lines. Still pretty bad. There we go. I think that should be fine. No, I need to pull them off the scavengers camps as well. So how much do we have in here? I think we should only ever have 10 of this. That's more than enough. Lots and lots and lots of new copper. Yeah, the resolve hurts. We'll chill for a little while. I can put people to work in the mines. Get into the mines, my good friends. Start extracting that copper. I think I would like faster extraction. So we'll get to work on those planks. How are the planks coming? I think we're using a lot of the planks in the lumber mill. Or in the tool shed, rather. We do have another large abandoned cache. Not sure I need the fabric and the leather and the pottery, so we could go for the reputation. This will get us 1 step closer to victory, which I think we will do. The mole is going to be dealt with very, very soon. Homelessness is an issue. We got a lot of cysts. Can I fit 2 more gaffs in here? Let me see. Not with cloth based anyway. Alright, so we got Sir Renwald Redmayne here. We have a lot of really cool goods that we could sell him. Traders arriving quicker is nice. Global food production speed 20%. Half a point of reputation for 14 amber. That seems like an easy pickup for me. Pushes me towards my victory condition. Export specialization seems quite good as well. We don't need much in the way of tools or anything like that. Let's have a quick look here. We could sell our wine. What's the value conversion? 2 and 1.6 to 5. That's actually a pretty damn good value conversion. Let's sell wine. We'll sell packs of crops. Some ale there. Nothing else really. I could sell these bricks. Selling the bricks, honestly. As much as I don't love that play, the fact that it counts as a trade route, right, which triggers protected trade, it triggers deep pockets, it triggers friendly relations. It just gets me, God, it just gets me closer to where I need to be. Oh, I didn't actually mean to build the tavern. That was a mistake. Right, we have high levels of corruption going, so I'm going to need a second firefighter to deal with that. I'm going to go ahead and buy the half point of reputation, because it's half a victory point essentially. Faster traders doesn't seem particularly important to me. Selling ancient tablets seems quite a good move. 8 amber value. Tools are also a decent sell, considering the conversion ratio. If I were to get something really, really good, like a ton of food, like skewers. I'm going to get faster traders. This means less stuff I have to spend. What do I have in abundance? I guess I just have a lot of tools that I can sell. I don't need that many tools. I'm making a lot of them. And this will get me all the skewers I need, at least for the foreseeable future. And eating skewers is worth 5 resolve for both lizards and harpies. So I call that a relatively successful trade, nothing too crazy. Now, the interesting thing about this building is that, is that 30 hostility per minute? Or is that because I have multiple, it's because I have multiple fully hostile thingies. So I should be gaining like 6 amber per minute. I wish there was a way to see that. But yeah, we should be just stacking up amber because of this. The big problem though is our hearth cannot handle this much corruption. Let's get another lizard working on this, and maybe we should go up to more cysts. It should be fine. Right, let's get a bunch of new people in. New immigrant pack unlocked. And yes, okay, so we have dealt with the mole. We can re-employ our woodcutters. Our tavern is coming online. Everything's coming online. Resolve is fine. How is everything? Okay, corruption is a problem, but we are burning away the cysts, which should set back this. Boom. So we're only going to get to 95% maximum right now. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. The burning is happening. We're able to manage it. Perfect. Yep. We managed to handle it. So we can have 1 building at this level, which is honestly perfect, because this is the only building I need to like be making an insane amount of tools from, because it just opens up my game so much. Now let's do a winter trade. Oh, you want to buy my copper, do you? Well, this stuff is practically free, so I may as well do a full send, although I will check what other recipes I have, because it's about the quantity of trade routes that I do rather than the size of each individual trade route. So like, I want to do as many individual trade routes as possible. And then we sell these copper bars here too. Boom. They're on the way. New thingies are happening. My lizard resolve is super high. That's great. High lizard resolve will get me passive victory points. We are now getting 0.29 reputation per minute. New cornerstone. Ooh, travel cost to trade routes is reduced by -1. That is the price you pay for packs of provisions. This could mean this could make trade. This is just. It's just more amazing trading, right? More amazing trading. Now my trade routes are like omega efficient. Some of them are free, literally free, literally free. Genuinely a little bit mad how well I'm doing here. I definitely want to upgrade my mine. Why are you idling? Because we're out of copper ore charges. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the box crib. An extra 80 copper ore. And then maybe we should start thinking about smelting. Although the next thing we might want to do is to go to a third woodcutters camp. We don't have that many unemployed people, so we'll have to kind of like figure stuff out. I think I don't need 3 blight post workers. This scavenger camp needs to be moved. There's a nice big egg deposit over here. We'll throw down another storage camp. One of the problems with these big glades is that there's not a lot of wood in between them, which is kind of straining my fuel supply. I'm going to go ahead and allow my buildings to burn coal, and then I'm going to open up potentially a kiln, although I don't think my economy can sustain it. So we do have our entertainment building, and we just need to now double the amount of these that we have and finish our decorations to get to neighborhood level 3, or to get to a hub level, which will get us a 10% chance to get double production on every single production cycle, which is, I mean, you hear that and you must think, wow, that's pretty powerful. Oh wow, ancient tombstone. You're expensive as heck. Right, so we've got our decoration area under construction as well, and we should really start thinking about upgrading this next hub to a slightly higher level. I guess I'll start preemptively building houses over here. Who's living in this crappy house? So I've got mixture, so I can justify at least an advanced house of each of each type. So 1 advanced human house, 1 advanced lizard house, and then 1 advanced harpy house. Over here should get us close to where we need to be. I do need to get, I need to stop burning coal actually. There's a reason I need to stop burning coal. That's because I'm trying to save up coal for the dirty work, which means I need to get myself a kiln. And so I shall. Let's get a kiln over here. Oh, and I should totally get another mine and start harvesting that coal. All in due time, all in due time. It's all happening nice and slowly. We're just taking our time, right? We're expanding our economy. We're in a really good shape. We're getting passive resolve. My lizards are happy. I could even favor my lizards to make that go even faster for me. In terms of new recipes, I don't love many of these, but I guess having the herbalist camp opens up options. Monastery is good. Minus 100 hostility is kind of powerful. Might go over monastery. I'll hold off on this choice. Wait for my next trade. I definitely want to open this though. And I think I'm going to go for the reputation point, so I'll get 2 harpies to work on that. Anyone I can unemploy right now? I've got a scavengers camp, woodcutters camp, mine. I probably don't need this many on the mine. Let's cut that down to 2 people. I do like this, that it just takes tools and a little bit of planks, and you can upgrade your mine to have more charges. So we probably have like an absolute insane amount of copper. Yeah, we have a ton of copper ore in the bank. Although we don't want to start smelting yet until we have a good supply of fuel. That's our big problem right now, is just we do not have enough fuel. We're way over leveraged on the fuel department. Would 3 resolve be good here? I don't know if it would be. I don't know if we need that. I was thinking about employing the tavern. Okay, so Ziadani Stormfeather has arrived. She has another reputation point. I'm going to take that. Let's see. We can go for the Foragers camp. The Trappers camp would be super helpful. Let's grab that. I'll grab the Foragers camp as well. I don't care about faster scout opening. Jerky. Advanced food is really, really good for me to get here. Let's check our trade routes. We just went into a new time zone. Oh yeah, this is an easy copper sell. Easy sell of copper, right? 51 copper ore for 18 amber, easy. Easy sell of tools, 9 tools for 33 amber. And then we'll just take a little bit of coal. Let's go ahead and buy our next tier of, well, let's not do that. Let's buy stuff. So things I have no use for 500 Alex. I want to buy those advanced foods. We just want to buy lots of food so we can actually make advanced food. That's the real dream. Because we can make tons of amber, so we need to turn amber into useful things. So I'll just buy a whole bunch of stuff here. I could buy a little bit more stuff. May as well. You know what? Let's buy some bricks. Bricks aren't so easy to come by. There you go. This feels like a pretty good trade route. Ton of advanced food. I suppose we can now safely activate biscuit consumption. No, we want to keep the lizards are who we want to have happy right now. No jerky for you, sir. Yeah, don't eat my biscuits. Don't eat my jerky. That's for the lizards. Well, yeah, just go nuts. We're in the snowball territory now. So I definitely can't do this. Rainproof coats, I think is possible. We can get these. And that's mostly just for the the reputation point, so we'll get around to that eventually. So I need to stop favoring the lizards because they're not above their resolve threshold right now. I have 2 recipes in the bank. We have a high level of corruption. We can deal with that. We have dealt with it before. Fuel's low. We're opening a cache. We have a ton of resources. I think the fuel load thing, we can deal with it when we build this mine over here. We've got our full decoration area here complete, which is now getting us a 10% global extra production chance and increasing the heart's resistance to corruption by 150. This is meaning we can run a little bit more cysts before it becomes a problem. We are still at a break point here because we're generating cysts incredibly quickly. You need another house. What do we have? What do we have living in here? 21 people. Why 21? It should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This house needs to be replaced. And then this neighborhood is completed with 20 villagers exactly. So we got some newcomers. Now the one downside of the build that I'm going for right now is that because I have really long years, I get a lot of immigrants. But we could deal with the immigrants because we have a ton of hostility reduction. Let's get a herbalist camp. Start harvesting those mushrooms for me. We will get ourselves a trapper's camp. Let's start harvesting those bugs for me. And we can start looking into maybe cooking advanced food. How much amber do I have in the bank? I've got 50 amber. I could do a reroll here for a food recipe. Biscuits. The only one I can't really make use of, right? But if I go for a provisioner, this will give me flour. What can I make flour out of? I guess roots. I can make flour out of roots. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the provisioner. And now if a food... here we go. Skewers. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now we can make skewers and we can make biscuits. We can make... Well, the pigment is less important, but the skewers and the biscuits, that's important to me. So I need the cookhouse. Cookhouse here and the provisioner here. We'll get those employed soon. High level of corruption. Let's make sure, yeah, we can put lizards in charge of here to make sure that can be done. And then I think I can do a little bit more woodcutters to keep that train growing. Let's make sure we have a couple of people working the trapper camp. Keep that meat coming in. The big thing is to get advanced food because that's where the resolve is coming from. You see all this happiness, which is giving us passive resolve per minute. It's not much resolve, but it is victory points. You can see the bar is filling, and that's our goal. Fill that bar. Big thing is coal here. So the unfathomable has happened. We're kind of running out of trees here, which makes me think I need to pull 2 people off this and put them into the mine. Where the coal will come from, we can fill dirty work and then start replacing our wood production with coal production. I can't believe we're on year 5 and we only have level 2 hostility. It feels so amazing. It's not a very particularly fast build. Like, we're not going to win super quickly, but it's a very safe build. Like, it's very hard for something to go wrong and ruin my run right now. And while generally faster is better, sure, I'm kind of a safe player. I like doing things safely. Okay, I'm just going to activate every possible input for the skewers, because getting the skewers built is the most important thing to do. This is a warmth specialized building, so we're going to get as many lizards working in here as possible. We have people making the trapper's camp. Actually, these should be lizards working in here too. Let me pull lizards off of my wood cutting camps. I'll put 2 lizards in charge of here because they have a 10% chance to produce twice as much. Lizards, and do I have lizards working anywhere else that they shouldn't be? The blight post, probably not the tool shop or the workstation. Or the copper mine. I really don't need the copper mine. The copper mine is just kind of there. Let's get a full send on lizards working here. And now the important thing here is this is going to give them +5 resolve, and they're making a foodstuff that's really, really useful for my settlement. Let's sell off some wine, sell off some pottery, and I don't see anything else. Yeah, we're good. How long till next trader? Soon. Only 3 minutes away. Provisioner, I don't care what you make. Biscuits are totally fair game too. I don't care what you make this from. This is just a basic building, so I can probably put humans in here, no problem. And then we'll just fill this with whoever. Harpies works. New cornerstone, exciting. +1 to all wood production and lose all stored fuel. I don't like that. Let's reroll. I didn't like any of those options. All houses have 1 more housing spot for every 10 completed trade routes, but construction is 25% slower. That's kind of nutty, actually. Gain 1 reputation point every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, but reputation gain from resolve is lowered by 50%. This is our win condition right here. Trade pact. This is what I was hoping for. Prosperous settlement. +1 global resolve. Each time you sell goods worth 40 amber. It really depends on, do we want to just get raw reputation from selling goods, or do we want to get global resolve from selling goods? I think it's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other kind of situation. If we take a look at our resolve situation, it's in pretty good shape. And I think we can get really, really high resolve numbers with Prosperous Settlement. So let's take Prosperous Settlement. We have 0 stacks of it. That doesn't matter because we're going to start getting stacks very, very soon. And we're about to bring on high resolve production here. If I was if I had not yet started doing like food stuff, I maybe would have gone for the one that would have given me just raw reputation. And technically it's probably more optimal because I could just start calling traders and immediately selling everything that I have. But I don't know, Resolve feels a little bit more like I've actually built a settlement that's, you know, going to stick around for a while. So Lizard Resolve is done. That's +1 reputation point. We've almost got Dirty Work done. We're probably not going to do rainproof coats, and that's fine. We just need, how much do we need? We're at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more resolve. So I think this is very doable. Let's encourage the harpies right now so they give me a little bit more of that resolve that they're generating right now. There's Dirty Work, perfect, +1 brick production and another point of resolve for 5 more points of resolve. Just waiting for the trader to come. What if I call him? No, there's no point in calling him right now. He'll be here in 30 seconds. Okay, consumption is unlocked on everything. Let's do Gleaming Tails. Let's put 3 lizards in charge of here. So now humans can start to consume the ale that I've built up a little bit of a supply of. Yeah, I've got 85 ale here for my humans, so human resolve is going to shoot up. The only thing I'm missing is training gear. If I could get a reliable source of training gear, or even just buy some training gear. I don't know if this guy has them. He might. He is the lizard guy, so he might have the training tools on him. Anything I want to sell. Sell those, sell those. It's just important that I keep activating trade routes because they push me towards my win condition. So just like every trade route I can get to go through gets me closer. Right, what do we got here? Lowers hostility. Don't need more lower hostility. I got enough of that. Don't need this. +1 additional resolve. There we go. That's helpful. Don't care about plank production. Could be good to get coats. No tools, unfortunately. Don't need ale. I already have a supply of ale. Ale. Cosmetics. I would have really loved tools. I don't need incense. I don't need any of this stuff. Let me have a look at my potentials here. Greenhouse, artisan. Does anyone actually eat pie? The lizards and the humans eat pie. What is the recipe of pie? That's the real question here. So a level 3 recipe of pie is flour and some random food. So this would be a fire specialization. My lizards would be happy to work here. I already make biscuits. Okay, I can get down with pie. Pie sounds good. I don't need the carpenter. Don't need this. I don't need this. Don't need this. Let's do 1 reroll. I don't need any of this. These are all terrible for me in my current build. I guess the clothier is fine. It is technically a resolve increase potential. I could put like a harpy on clothing to keep my human resolve high. No, I'm just going to buy clothing. So let's buy everything that will increase our resolve. God, I want none of this shit. But I need to sell stuff. I could sell stuff to the next trader, who will hopefully be better. You know, I'm just going to take these. I'm going to take them. They cost me basically nothing, and they will technically improve my town. Not by much. Grab those couple extra things. So I need him to get out of here so I can call the next guy. Wait. Right. So I will be able to fulfill rainproof coats, which means I'm actually very, very close to my win condition. Resolve is shooting up. If I could get hostility to go down slightly. No. Don't make barrels. Nobody asked for barrels. Don't make more than 20 of these. Make them from anything. And then you are actually out of a job now because you have been replaced by this. We do not need barrels, okay? Get these out of here. Huge. Resolve is increasing. What are we at? 0.88 per minute. I think this is a win. We're on the road. New trade route potential. I could sell some coal. I'll sell some coats. I'll sell some wine. Trade routes are full. That's okay. Let's call the next guy. Immigrants. Let's avoid taking in immigrants because we got a lot of population here. It's becoming a problem. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, I guess the training gear is good. Hostility reduction, builder, coal. I mean, this is nice, I guess. Coal production, I'll take that. Additional +1 resolve under the effect of leisure. Sure, that's great. I'll take that. Traders arrive quicker. Blech. I'll take that. This can be used to make resolve. This can be used to make resolve. This can be used to make resolve. Just sell everything. I have so many tools. Boom. Resolve is shooting up. Perfect. Where's my cookhouse, my field kitchen? Do I have a better jerky recipe? Oh shit, I have a smokehouse. Damn it, why didn't I build a smokehouse? Let's get the smokehouse. Get that jerky going. Who's unhomed? Okay, my lizards are unhomed. Quickly. 1, 2 lizard houses, plus another 1 lizard house, plus a human house. I'm loving this. 3, we just have so much resolve. Look at those blue bars. It always makes me happy to see it. Can I perhaps boost your happiness up to a important enough level? Oh, we could just barely favor the lizards. We're up to 1.14 reputation per minute. Easy closeout. Easy closeout of a decent run. Very, very fun trade run. We only ever needed to get to 2 hearts. I do still feel like this map is massive. And I opened 3 glades and I won. I wish there was a build that would allow you to be much more expansive. This mine needs to be expanded. Let's go ahead and expand it. So one thing that I kind of wish is that I could have a really big sprawling empire. If the game incentivized it. Be kind of fun. All right, we're just about to win. Here we go. And we are now over the line. Prestige 3 dealt with, and I would say I dealt with it pretty damn well. We completed a bunch of deeds, win a game on Prestige 3 or higher, win a game after discovering a forbidden glade on year 1, veteran or higher, stalking shadows, year 2 or higher, win a game near the modifier forbidden lands, complete 30 trade routes, win a game after completing 20 trade routes. We also got artifacts, we got food, and we got machinery. Perfect, amazing score, difficulty multipliers, very, very nice. Just in time. Oh, what is this? Game finished before year 8. Right, appreciative nod. Impatience didn't read 4 points throughout the game. Unity, no villagers left, no villager died. We solved events, we did things, we completed orders, we got impatience, we got a reputation. Game finished with at least 40 villagers. Cool. So yeah, but no reason to continue the settlement, but I think this will actually we can now, theoretically, I think we can now, we need to complete one more. Actually, we managed to complete this before the cycle ended. So we could do another game. We could open up this chest over here. I think that was a very, very successful run. It also means that now I have the ability to go to Prestige 4. Villagers with low resolve leave faster, so that's going to make the game even harder. We could maybe do some daily expeditions and stuff like that, but I'm going to say no thank you to that. Speaking of upgrades and all that kind of meta progression stuff, we just completed a bunch of deeds. Mostly it's just going to unlock experience for us. It would be cool if each one of these things had like a interesting and unique reward associated with it, but that'd be kind of hard to do, like our little achievements system. So deeds wise, let me have a look. Sort by progress. So we're getting close to finishing some of these deeds. Earn 18 reputation. Ooh, prestige 1 or higher. So no. Oh, damn. So you're not allowed to earn. Well, I guess it has to be a harder game, because I think we don't even do 18 prestige games yet. So there's some interesting challenges for us to take up, but I want to get all the way to prestige 20. I think it goes to 20, and it may even go higher in the future. Let's go ahead and have a look. What upgrades can I get? Because I did just get a bunch of new materials. Yeah. We can almost max out our tower. We've almost got it there. So Obsidian Archive level 13. The Queen's Impatience will grow slower, which is giving us more time to win the game. We can now take the Foragers Camp when we embark. Okay, powerful. More Grace Period and slower Impatience gain. And then finally, the last 2 upgrades we should be able to get done, which is basically more of the same. Impatience reduction, all that sort of cool stuff. And once we do that, we can start actually using our meta progression resources, this stuff up here. We can use that for some the sacrifice system. It's a building you can build during a run, which allows you to sacrifice meta progression resources for an advantage during the run, which is kind of an interesting idea, right? That you are playing the map to get meta progression resources, but then you're spending meta progression resources in order to finish the map faster, maybe allowing you to cram more cities in, allowing you to reach out into the further reaches of the unknown on the world map, because I've never really explored very, very far, because I tend to do my cities very slowly and safely. But there is something to be said of, like, if you speed run this game and try to like get villages done as soon as possible, you can get really, really deep out here and get your hands on some really, really cool resources. But that's been it for arguably my new favorite city builder game. No, it's definitely my new favorite city builder game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all very much. Check out Against the Storm. It's out now on Steam. Bye bye.